Yo, what it do? It's your boys, Juice and Lou, and we back here with another episode for y'all. We back with the football talks. Now, we still got some questions to answer from last time,
Yep.
and we got some new topics coming up. So, without further ado, let's go
hmm
ahead, let's hop into it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Uh-huh. Start off this episode talking about Russell Wilson drama.
Hmm.
No, he was talking about his O line. Well, not directly, but indirectly, saying complaining about how much times he's been sacked throughout his career,
Yeah,
which brings the question. His agent been in trade talks, but he hasn't requested a trade personally yet. He's saying that if he was to get traded, he has some destinations. We
right.
got the Cowboys as one, the Raiders as one, the Bears as one, and the Saints is the last
Yeah,
one. Those are the four destinations. So, how do you
yeah.
feel about this Russell Wilson drama going on right now, man?
Um. Well, let's just get the Saints out of there because their cap is all messed up. So let's just get the Saints out of there. So really, we just left the three teams: the Raiders, Cowboys, and the Bears. The Bears is probably he said he wouldn't mind at all playing for the Bears. That's probably the number one option. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm throwing everybody for Russ. I'm throwing everybody. You gotta give him Dak. Probably. I mean, I don't know if Dak and Zeke combined are worth or I don't know.
They wouldn't give up those two players
Nah, but they
for
got a lot of first round
Russ.
picks. They got a lot. I think they do. But no matter what, they Dallas has to throw everything if they want him. But I think they're not going to. So it's between the Raiders and the Bears. I think the Bears have the best chance over the Raiders, to be honest. Just because the Raiders are just better. Not Raiders. The Bears have a better defense than the Raiders. And looking at the offenses, Nelson Aguilar, he had a good year, but Allen Robinson, if he decides to stay, you got the rookie Mooney.
And Darnell Mooney.
Yeah,
But
Mooney, he's
what about
good.
Henry Ruggs
You got Henry
for
Ruggs.
Raiders?
He ain't really had that good of a year. He
He
didn't
didn't
really
get the
get the
touches
ball.
either. I mean, they're a power run team with Josh Jacobs most of the time. Very
Yeah,
West Coast offensive style.
listen, if Russell Wilson didn't go there, Henry Ruggs would see the ball a lot for sure. He would see the ball. Now, Derek Carr, obviously a quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback exchange. Now, Derek Carr to the Seahawks, I don't see Tyler Lockett being as good. DK, he's going to be good regardless. Do I see him putting up stats like he would with Russell Wilson? No. He's going to be average stats, but he's going to be in the best wide receiver talks just because he's the second coming of Megatron. So he's going to be in that talk regardless, but his stats are going to regress a lot. So I don't know about the Raiders. I don't know about the Raiders. Now, Chicago, obviously that quarterback exchange is going to hurt because Mr. Trubisky is going to ruin the Seahawks even more. Like, you think they don't have an O line? Add a bad quarterback behind there. DK is just going to fall off the plane. He's going to request a trade in 3 years if they get Mr. Trubisky. So, I mean, but then again, the Bears are going to automatically be contenders if you add Russell Wilson, in my opinion.
Uh,
The Bears, out of these four teams, I see the Bears most likely. But if Allen Robinson don't stay, then that's tough. That's tough. But I like the Bears out of all these teams.
okay.
Yeah.
My opinion, I think you should just stay in Seattle, man. Um, like you were saying, you were naming off the team. Well, I named off the teams, but you were giving their background, like what weapons and whatnot. The Seattle offense is better than all four. You could
Oh
probably
yeah,
make an argument for the Saints
for sure.
because Michael Thomas has been banged up, but you still got Alvin Kamara, the stud.
Yeah.
But the DK, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson. I mean, you got your offensive weapons are stacked. And then you were taking
Yeah.
shots at your O line indirectly. But the O line this year ranked top 15. The Cowboys were 24th.
Oh,
The Raiders were 22. And the Saints, no, not the Saints. The Bears were 27. The Saints were good though, but like you said, their cap room, it'll be hard for them to even attack Russell Wilson. Because Russell Wilson's cap penalty is tremendous high too.
for sure.
So it's gonna be hard for the Saints to get their hands, even if Drew Brees retires, on Russell Wilson, like you said. The
Hmm.
Cowboys, I wouldn't get rid of Zeke
Yeah.
for Russell Wilson, Zeke or Dak. I think you have the 12th pick or 10th pick in the draft.
So you gonna
That would
let
have to
Dak walk?
go. Well, I mean, I don't think Dak's probably going to get franchise tag this year, which would probably be $50 million if he gets franchise tag for 1 year.
Possibly.
But it's not guaranteed 50 million, but the contract would say 50 million. Guaranteed
Yeah.
probably be like 35 million.
Hmm.
But like I was saying, the Raiders, you had Mahomes in that division. I mean, the Raiders, they beat Mahomes without
Yeah.
Russell Wilson. So maybe they beat him twice a year. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would
They
be
they got the
interesting.
game plan on them.
But facing Mahomes twice a year, that's going to put pressure on you as an individual. Then you
Yeah.
have the Bears division. You got to face A-Rod twice a year. You have a good defense though, backing you up. So that's a plus for y'all.
Hmm.
But the division you're in now, it's very competitive. You got the Cardinals, they're playing well. Then you have the Niners. Then you have the injured Niners. They were injured this past year, but maybe they'll be back next year. Then you have the Rams, who just got Stafford. So that
Yeah.
division, their quarterback situations there, they're not the best to compete with Russell Wilson. But all in all, I think he should just stay in Seattle, just keep building confidence with his O line. If they want an O line, y'all are offering Orlando Brown up, so they could attack y'all with a trade deal. I
Yeah.
don't think they have any first round picks this year. No, they don't. I don't. Yeah, they don't. So they would have it would be like maybe a future first for Orlando. That would probably be the best trade deal because he's such a young left tackle. But and we know how important left tackle is in today's football.
Yeah.
So I would just stay in Seattle. Hopefully, the GM, general manager, and Pete Carroll they work something out and get Russell Wilson some help. Maybe the defensive side of the ball too, take some pressure off them because last year they looked pretty bad
Really
defensively.
bad. Really bad.
That's
I
not
don't
really a
know.
traditional Seattle defense either under Pete Carroll. So it would be I don't think he should move. But you were saying what team were you saying? The Bears?
The Bears, the best option. I don't know. It's like
Think Allen Robinson would stay if he saw Russell Wilson come?
I think he would. Yeah, for sure. I don't
They
think he would
haven't
think
talked.
twice.
Allen Robinson and the Bears have yet to talk since the season ended.
Yeah, that's true too. That is true too. But looking at back at Russell Wilson, he's been sacked like 394 times in 7 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's like injury. That's an injury waiting to happen. If they get to 400, he's going to get hurt in some type of way. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's like, yeah, like you said, the other teams they probably had worse offensive lines, but They got better defenses. Well, besides the Cowboys, but they have better defenses. Saints got a better defense.
Raiders
Raiders
is
got a better defense.
questionable.
Raiders, I s- I'll probably put them on the same level. Maybe the Seahawks like this, like
I'd probably
slightly.
say the Raiders had the same defense as the Cowboys, probably.
That bad?
They're
Mm.
pass defense wise. I don't know about run defense. They're better than the Cowboys, but their pass defense this past year was not that good.
Well, the Saints obviously has the best defense on this list out of all the four teams, but who knows if they can keep all of them. So the next up would be the Bears. So
Right.
if Russell Wilson, we saw what Russell Wilson can do when he got that defense to back him up. It doesn't even matter about the O line, to be honest, because Russell Wilson can score. He can march down the field regardless. It's the defense, him like them allowing scores and uh basically just having it be a back and forth game where Russell Wilson has to like really try, I guess. Like back when the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, all them boys, we saw what they could do. Super Bowl, NFC Championship, like we saw that. When they all left, the offense was kind of not the same, but you still got Lockett, you still got, Russ, obviously. And that O line, was still average to below average at the time. So he was making it work. It's just I think the defense, he needs a defense in order for him to be good on offense. So I mean, offensive line obviously matters, but to Russ, he can still make do with what he has. I just think he needs a defense to back him up. That's what I just think that.
How much though of a defense? Like a Legion of Boom level, or just a
I
solid
don't
top
think
15?
I don't think we're going to see a Legion of Boom level anytime soon because they were crazy all around. But
Well, they didn't really have a pass rusher, but everything else was good.
um, looking at the Bears defense, they got Khalil Mack. He's playing at a high level. Uh, Eddie Jackson didn't really have that great of a year last year. Will probably be better this year. Who else
Kyle
on that squad?
Fuller,
Kyle Fuller is on that
Roquan
squad.
Smith, Eddie Goldman, Hakeem Hicks. Yeah, their front seven's really good.
So that
But
front seven is going to be scary. If the secondary can ball next year if they get Russell Wilson, if the secondary can ball, that's a
I
Super
think
Bowl
they still
team.
have Ha Clinton Dix too, but he's getting up there too in
He's
age.
getting up there in age. But if the Bears can keep that front seven and the secondary can ball and they get Russell Wilson, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Wow. They beating the Bucks.
They're beating the Bucks. Listen, the Bucks and they're
Wow.
going to be playing the same game. They're
Wow.
going to be playing the same game. Russ wants redemption against Brady because yeah. So I think Russ beats them. I think Russ beats them.
I think that game would come down to coaching. Matt Nagy, I don't think he's a good head coach in Chicago. But you got
Mm,
that Buccaneers coaching staff, very diverse in race, but they're very talented too.
all around for
Behind
sure.
isn't his name Bruce Arians coaching?
Mm,
Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator. You saw what he did to Mahomes. So
yeah.
it's gonna be if that game did happen. I think that game will come down to coaching. I think the Bucks clearly would outcoach the Bears right now. If the Bears don't pick up like someone known, well known at least, because I don't. There's coaching staff's young compared to the Bucks. Like their IQ level is just not as high as the Bucks coaching staff. And talent wise, like you said, I mean, Bucks offense is pretty good. Well, this year they were pretty good. I can't speak for next year, but
Yeah.
they came back. They were pretty good. Where they had Gronk, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, all those old guys. Well, not old. Well, Leonard Fournette's not old, but he's on the squad. New guys coming in. They balled out for them this year. Got him a ring ultimately. And you still had
Right.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who were already there. Their O line's getting better. Tristan Wirfs was just a rookie, and he only allowed 1 sack this year.
1 sack.
So he's going to be better next year. So their teams on offense, they got a bunch of old veterans, but they know how to ball out still, especially come playoff times, as we saw. And then the Bears, we saw them in the playoffs. Yeah, they had Mitch Trubisky, but they also had interesting coaching decisions they made. I think it was 10-9 at going into halftime, and they got the ball. They could have ran like a 2-minute drill. They didn't even try. They didn't even believe in Mitch Trubisky. They ran the ball 3 times. The 3 and out, they punted the ball back to the Saints.
But if that's Russell Wilson, do they win that game?
Against the Saints, I mean, that game was very defensive in the first half. Second half, the Saints, they were able to pull away a little bit.
It was
but
defensive only because Mr. Trubisky sucks. Like it was easy for them. The Saints was a top. I mean, given the Saints were like a top 5 defense in the league, but if it's 10-9 at halftime, Sims dropped that wide open touchdown.
Yeah,
that's not on Mitch. That was a good pass. That touchdown would have changed the game, in my opinion. But Russell Wilson, throughout that whole game, if he was there, they're beating the Saints. And who would they have played next? What seed were the Saints? Not Saints. What seed were the Bears? Last. They
would have
dead
played
last.
Packers.
Probably would have lost to the Packers in a close one. But Russell Wilson definitely would change that team for sure. The play calls would be different because they would have more trust in Russell Wilson to make that play.
The main reason they lost to the Rams in the playoffs because Russell Wilson couldn't outperform a broken thumb Jared Goff. So you can't really say that assumption. I mean, the Rams defense, they were probably top 3 in the league last year, but the Saints defense arguably could be top 1 in the regular season, number 1. So you can't really make that assumption. So
the score was 10-9.
Yeah, but you think the Saints probably did that? Well, not did it on purpose, but like they still had faith throughout the whole game they were going to win. Russell Wilson there, they probably play a little bit more. I don't want to say they weren't playing serious with the Bears, but I mean, they only won 20-9. They didn't score a touchdown. The Bears didn't score a touchdown. Like you said, Sims dropped a wide open touchdown. But the Bears still didn't get a touchdown on the Saints. And Russell Wilson, what do you have? I think he had 2 picks against the Rams. And they lost. It was 30-20. So there goes that Russell Wilson take. I don't know about that one.
I mean, I don't know. The different. It's a difference between the Saints and the Saints defense and the Rams defense. It's just like the Saints. It's like they're not the Saints. The Rams is like they're daring you to throw the ball. You're either gonna get sacked by Aaron Donald, or he's gonna bring the pressure, obviously, or you erase. First off, you're erasing the best receiver on your team because Jalen Ramsey's on that. I think not Michael Thomas.
Allen Robinson gets erased by Jalen Ramsey.
Oh no! Anybody's getting erased by Jalen Ramsey, in my opinion. Anybody, but who on the Saints? Saints corners? I can't think of any right now. But who's the number 1 Saints corner?
Probably Marshawn Lattimore.
Lattimore.
He had a good season though. After he had a bad season previous year, he had a good season this year. But he's
More
not
so on
no Jalen
Lattimore.
Ramsey.
He's not no Jalen Ramsey, exactly. So, and we saw receivers was getting open against the Saints secondary. Because Mr. Biscuit couldn't make the throw, or he didn't have the time. He's not as mobile and like he's not really a dual threat like Russell Wilson. But not dual threat. I wouldn't really use dual threat as the word, but you know what I'm trying to say. He can't move like him, basically. So I just think, in my, who would I take? The Rams defense or the Saints defense?
You know
Honestly, I'm
my
taking the
answer.
Rams defense. I'm
Mm-hmm.
honestly taking the Rams defense. If they basically did, if you want to beat them, you're probably going to have to throw check downs or run the ball because they're basically daring you to throw the ball on them. Because Aaron Donald going to get to you, double team or not, he's going to get to you. Which also leaves, if they're double, triple teaming Aaron Donald, that's going to leave somebody to come up the middle and blitz. And then you don't have one of your best receivers, so you got to focus on your second and third receivers to try and make a play because Jalen Ramsey's on that. He's covering that. So I don't know. It's close.
Yeah.
Stats wise, the Saints defense. But everything impact the Rams.
Okay. Yeah, but that kind of goes with my point, like I was saying, how Russell Wilson couldn't get through the Rams. Their defense was just that stout. But you're
Yeah, I see
saying,
what
I
you
guess you're
mean.
saying, yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll wait see if Russell Wilson actually gets traded.
Yeah,
But until now, still a Seahawk. I expect him to still be a Seahawk because it's
right.
hard. It's gonna be hard to move his contract. Pretty big contract, and he's getting up there in age.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yo, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you know when we post next. All right, peace.